After winning the French Open, Coco Gauff believed it would be the greatest event of her life. Then, out of the blue, an Italian billionaire named Giovanni Moretti called her and made an offer that made her cry hysterically in front of her entire staff. His proposal to her parents wasn't merely kind. Beyond any tennis trophy she will ever win, it had a profound impact on her life.
Here she's giving her mother a hug, her mom, who was praying on TV, then her dad, Corey.
Have you ever been so overwhelmed by someone's generosity? In the comments section below, tell your story. Since this is one of those rare instances where reality seems more plausible than fiction, let's examine what just transpired. Coco Gauff had just won the French Open, which is a huge accomplishment in and of itself, and what most athletes strive for throughout their lives. After the heartbreak of what transpired at Wimbledon, she was absorbing the reality that she had defeated Roland Garros, while holding the trophy and fulfilling all of her media commitments. Everything seemed to be going well in life, including the career. Then, as if he had seen a ghost, her manager stormed into the room and demanded that she answer a call right away. Giovanni Moretti, an Italian millionaire renowned for owning private islands, managing enormous corporate operations, and having a sincere passion for tennis, was the person on the other end. This wasn't just any rich guy attempting to gain notoriety. For years, Moretti had followed Coco's career and was impressed not only by her skill, but also by her personality, tenacity, and, above all, the familial connection that had helped her reach her current position. He didn't waste time on small talk, or more than the bare minimum of congratulations. He came right to the point of what he truly wanted to talk about. The tone of the conversation was instantly altered when Moretti asked Coco a straightforward question. "How is your family doing?" He knew something that most people don't notice when they watch athletes compete, which is why that one sentence struck a distinct chord. Every champion has a network of supporters who gave their all to make their ambitions come true. For years, Coco's parents, Corey and Candy, worked multiple jobs, stretched every dollar, and prioritized their daughter's tennis goals before their own. In an attempt to maintain her composure, Coco said, "They're doing okay," which is what you say when you don't want to tell everyone the whole truth. However, Moretti wasn't inquiring out of courteous curiosity. He was going to make an offer that would drastically alter their lives, which is why he was asking. He informed Coco that he would like to offer her parents jobs as personal development advisors at his business. They would accompany her on trips, encourage her professional endeavors, and help with the sports projects she was starting. Then he let go of the number. $200,000 each month. At that moment, everything stopped for Coco. She was unable to speak, her throat constricted. Immediately, tears began to form. This was no longer about tennis. This wasn't about awards, standings, or sponsorships. This was about her parents never having to face hardships again. In a way that truly meant years of sacrifice were finally acknowledged and rewarded. In an attempt to comprehend what she had just heard, she covered her mouth with her hand. She was only able to mumble that she was at a loss for words. In response, Moretti said something that increased the impact of the entire situation. He encouraged her to keep quiet because her tennis had brought happiness to millions of others. He now intended to return the favor by ensuring her parents received the comfort they were due. At that point, Coco lost it. These were not tears of grief or anxiety. These were tears of gratitude, relief, and intense sorrow about what this meant for the individuals who had provided her with everything.
I cry. He doesn't want me to tell you all that, but he got caught in 4K. He thinks he's so hard, but it's not. So thank you guys.
You must be aware of Coco's parents' entire ordeal to comprehend why this struck so deeply. The glamorous part of professional tennis is seen by the general audience. The magazine covers, the stadiums, the sponsorships, and the star fans. The years of financial hardship that preceded all of that are what people fail to see. In addition to working as waiters, housekeepers, and coaches whenever they could find clients, Coco's parents also had to continually manage their finances and travel expenses for junior tournaments. They occasionally missed meals so Coco could eat healthily before games. They struggled to pay for her development for several months, living paycheck to paycheck.
Congrats. We saw you closing your eyes for some of this match. When your daughter steps up to that line, serve for her second major, where are your thoughts going?
First, get your serve in and make sure that you stay under control, and that as long as you have another point, you have another chance. And just don't get upset if someone makes a shot. So it's like you have another point, so let's go out and play. Yeah.
I'm not going to ask where your thoughts were going. I'm going to ask where you were going. You don't watch it from out there. Where were you? How'd you experience this?
I kind of move around behind the scenes. I try to find a quiet corner and look at it on my iPad, and then I make notes. And sometimes I'm texting her and texting the coaches if I see something I think they can't see.
Coco's parents kept their regular jobs even after she gained international recognition and began earning money from tennis. That wasn't because they had to at that time. It was due to pride, humility, and a desire to avoid depending entirely on their daughter's earnings. Even when circumstances changed, they were unable to just flick a switch and quit because they had worked their entire lives. In interviews, Coco Gauff repeatedly stated that her parents put in more effort than anyone she knows. And when she discussed it, you could hear the weight in her voice.
Emotional tears in your eyes still. What did today represent?
It represents, like Coco alluded to before, that sometimes when you have a loss and you get down on yourself, but learning that you can pick up the sun will rise the next day and just keep working at your craft. If this is your passion, you got to give it your all. And what Coco did today was amazing. She never gave up. She fought to the end, and she gave herself the opportunity to hold up the trophy.
Coco was motivated in part by the pressure. Observing her parents' financial hardship served as a silent source of motivation that encouraged her to practice more and kept her going when she wanted to give up. She persuaded herself that she couldn't let her family down and that she had to keep battling since their efforts couldn't be in vain. After her Wimbledon defeat, which emotionally destroyed her confidence, she used that suffering and pressure as motivation to win the French Open. She was playing for the people who had sacrificed everything to get her there, not just for herself. All of that history flooded back when Moretti made the offer. Money and a job chance weren't the only factors involved. After years of keeping things together with pure strength and determination, this was about her parents being allowed to breathe at last. When the Coco staff saw her cry during that phone call, they knew they were seeing something much more important than a commercial transaction. In a way she could never have predicted, this was a daughter's dream of caring for her parents coming true. Coco had to tell her parents what had transpired after hanging up the phone. They assumed she was simply overcome by the strain from the media or the thrill of winning a Grand Slam. Because they were in the adjacent room, rather, she entered with shaking hands and red eyes, collapsed into their arms, and whispered that they no longer needed to work since someone wanted to look after them. Her mother was the first to start crying. Normally calm and stoic, her father sat down slowly, unable to speak. The dollar amount had nothing to do with this. This was about being at last freed from decades of financial hardship and sacrifice. This narrative is made even more potent by its larger background. Athletes frequently express a desire to support their families, and many of them do so through contracts and endorsements. However, there is something unique about an outside benefactor acknowledging the sacrifice made by parents and acting in such a direct manner to recognize that. Moretti was not required to do this. He has countless other options for spending his billions of dollars. However, he felt a connection to Coco's family tale and decided to take action that would drastically alter their lives. When you truly break it down, the number is astounding. Coco's parents now earn a total of $400,000 every month, with each earning $200,000. That comes to $4.8 million annually. That kind of financial security is actually life-changing for those who have worked numerous jobs for years to make ends meet. They won't have to worry about bills ever again. They won't ever have to worry about how they're going to pay for the next event, forego meals, or worry about travel costs. That burden has entirely vanished. However, this offers emotional and psychological relief in addition to cash benefits. Coco had been burdened with the desire to make up for what her parents had done. Even while she didn't always discuss it in public, the strain was having a mental impact on her. She acknowledged that the pressure and expectations had affected her following her defeat at Wimbledon. She felt that she owed her family success, so she put some of that burden on herself. That particular strain has vanished now that her parents are financially stable. She can play with the freedom of someone who has already fulfilled her goals for her family. Her coach saw the improvement right away. He claimed that before Coco played, someone was attempting to improve the lives of her family. Now she plays with the happiness of someone who has previously experienced it. Because she is no longer playing out of necessity or desperation, this change in perspective will make her even more deadly as a rival. She is participating because she enjoys the sport and wants to succeed for herself, which is a far more positive and long-lasting source of motivation. Coco's statement that she feels unstoppable now that her parents are taken care of sums it up perfectly. That isn't conceit or haughtiness. That true confidence stems from the fact that one of her main sources of stress has been totally removed. At the age of 20, she has 2 Grand Slam victories, financial stability for her family, and a bright future ahead of her. She no longer has to bear the burden of her parents' sacrifice because it has finally been recognized and acknowledged in the most significant way imaginable, and the possibilities are unlimited. Because it is mostly about family sacrifice and what occurs when those sacrifices are acknowledged, this story transcends tennis. How many athletes have parents who sacrificed everything to allow their children to follow their dreams? How many families endure years of financial hardship in the hopes that their investment will eventually pay off? Because of how drastically things changed after just one phone call, Coco's tale stands out. However, the fundamental principles are universal. Whether they express it or not, children bear the burden of their parents' sacrifices. This is made even more compelling narratively by the fact that it occurred immediately after Coco's victory at the French Open. After reaching one of her greatest professional ambitions, she was informed right away that her parents would never have to face hardship again. Her breakdown can be explained by the perfect storm of emotion that resulted from those 2 consecutive instances. It wasn't a single significant event. Within hours of one another, 2 life-altering occurrences took place. Giovanni Moretti should also be commended for his attitude to this. He could have turned it into a major public event, organized a news conference, and made sure everyone was aware of how giving he was. Rather, he offered to help in a way that really mattered over the phone. Although Moretti's original approach was quiet and courteous, the story eventually came to light since Coco discussed it in interviews. This implies that his objectives were not driven by ego or publicity, but rather were pure. Because they are not charitable, the roles he established for Coco's parents as personal development consultants are equally important. Instead of merely accepting a handout, Corey and Candy can contribute to these real positions and feel as though they are earning what they are receiving. This distinction is important psychologically because it enables people to be financially comfortable while retaining their dignity and sense of purpose. They are not going to retire and vanish. They are moving into positions that will help their daughter's career in novel ways. The dynamics of Coco's future career are also altered by this entire circumstance. She's no longer taking advantage of someone's need to help her family escape financial hardship. Instead of feeling pressured to participate in every event or take every sponsorship because money is so important, she can make choices based solely on what's best for her tennis and her health. Her performance will reflect this independence, since she will be able to put long-term growth, training, and relaxation ahead of immediate financial gain. The French Open victory by Coco Gauff was amazing. However, Giovanni Moretti's contributions to her family may prove to be even more important in terms of how they impact her life and career. This is what happens when real need and charity come together, and the result is something far more significant than money. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons because we highlight the real human stories that go beyond winning and losing in sports.